Hi there, everybody. I'm coming to you today, not with any cake, unfortunately, although I am eating a little bit of Doritos chips this afternoon. To you a bit about some tips that you can do to help you with your pricing. And I have lost the post. I wrote up an entire thing and now it's gone. That's okay. What I wanted to talk to you about was basically some tips and some ways that you can maintain and grow a healthy business even amongst all the changes that are coming up. We all know about all the posts that are going on, all the things in the media, things that everyone's saying and are worried about. And a lot of business owners are concerned, and rightly so. It's really, really understandable. But even though it may be hard, it may be challenging, you can do this. There is definitely a chance for you and your business to still be growing and thriving and staying healthy, health-wise, but also financially through the next 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, however long this whole thing takes to go. I had a list of 7 tips. I don't know why, but they're gone from the post here, so I'm going to try to remember them off the top of my head, so please bear with me. Excuse me. The first one was, one of the things that you can do to maintain a really healthy business through the next year is ask your customers what they need from you. It is so important to maintain your finger on the pulse of what your customers value most, and you cannot know that without asking them. I recommend, you use feedback forms, surveys, polls, whatever works for you, or even just ask your customer or client, over coffee or when you're next seeing them, hey, how can I best serve you now? How are things changing for you? Are things changing for you right now? Is there anything in particular that you need from me? Ask those questions of your customers right now. I think everybody is rightly very, very worried about how the changes coming up are going to affect their business. And one of the most helpful things we can do is take the focus outside of us and our business and turn to our customers and say, okay, I want you to let me know, how can I best serve you now? What can I do for you? What do you need from me? That would be really, really helpful for you. The second tip I had in there was to revise your pricing roadmap. Now, this is a funny one because a lot of people don't have a pricing roadmap anyway. A pricing roadmap, very quickly, is basically just like a timeline over the next year or so of the pricing that you're planning to have in your business. This might be for current offerings that you have, so maybe price increases that you have planned or changes to the way that you package your offerings. It can also mean new things that you're implementing and your pricing plans for that. Obviously, with the things changing at the moment with the coronavirus and how it's impacting how people are thinking and buying and spending, we need to revise our pricing roadmap. So if you did have any price increases planned, you might just want to go back and reflect on that. Is it a really good time for it? Is it going to be helpful? Is it going to come across the same way as what you would expect of it? We've got some people joining. I'm just going to say hello. Hey Rosie, hey Julie. Hey Sabrina and Roman and Christine, good to see you guys. Let me know in a comment below if you have a particular concern around your pricing with all this coronavirus coming up. Another one of the tips that I had there was so I had a post of tips and it's gone from the video that I've just brought up. So now I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head. One of the other tips I had was to allow your business decisions from here on out to be even more strongly governed by your business values. So I actually have my business values posted on my website because that's really important to me. And to give you an example, my business values are truth, generosity, leadership, courage, curiosity, and results. Those are the things that drive me and my decisions in my business. The other thing you want to think about doing is to learn about value. There are heaps and heaps of free resources, and I'm going to be actually creating a list of a bunch of free resources that you can go to learn more about what value actually is, what it means, how to create it, how to cultivate it, how to create perceived value in the mind of people in a way that's effective and helpful for them. This also leads into another point. Hey Michelle, good to see you. This also leads into another point where it's really important to keep in mind what your customers' changing willingness to pay is. your customers' perceived value of you is going to directly fuel their willingness to pay. This means then that if you are able to know what your customers value most from you, create services and offerings around that and price it well, they're going to want to keep paying you. People want to pay you if you make stuff that they find really, really valuable, right? So over the coming months and over the next or so, hola, hey George. Over the next year, if you're focused on being customer-centric and value-driven in the things that you do, the way that you price, the way that you market and advertise and all of that, that's going to drive a higher perceived value, which drives a higher willingness to pay, which increases the kind of security and financial health that your business will have. That is going to have, I kid you not, one of the biggest impacts and biggest effects on how well your business manages over the next year and how strong your business turns out to be. Another one is to keep in mind the fact that people need you and the things that you have to offer. I know that there is a bit of a debate going on about, whether it's okay to keep advertising and trying to sell during this time. A lot of you would have seen that I've got webinars and seminars coming up. I think it is not only okay, but I think it is vital that as businesses, we pivot and adjust and align our offerings to match what our customers most need from us right now. Because if we don't, then we won't be here in 12, 18 months' time to be there when, it's more appropriate to be selling. The thing is that as business owners, we're actually obligated to create value for other people. That's the objective of a business, is to create value outside of itself. If you are doing that, governed in a way with really great business values, if you're governed by the intention to serve and to help other people, then you absolutely should be continuing with your business. Obviously keeping in mind that the way that you talk about things should be mindful, should be sensitive, should be respectful. We don't want to be unkind to people. We don't want to be insensitive. We want to be helpful. And that should be the point of everything that we do, everything that we sell. The truth is that everything that you have to offer people is likely something that they're going to need. And if you go back to that first point I mentioned about asking customers about what they need from you, then what you're creating is not only not icky and not gross, it's something that's going to be wanted by people because they need it to get through this time. This isn't just in B2B as well, this is in B2C too. If you create, nice things, Kate Toon mentioned this on a video the other day, we're going through a really crappy time right now. All of us are experiencing a lot of manic fear and anxiety and things. I'm going to want nice things to cheer me up now and then, and I imagine other people will as well. So there's hope for all kinds of businesses. Another one of the tips that I had in my list that has now disappeared from my post for some reason is to review your pricing metrics. Okay, so have a look through the offerings that you have at the moment. So your pricing metrics is what you base your prices on, as a base per hour, per unit, per tier, per package, per, all of those things. Your pricing metric needs to align with your customer's value metric. And in these changing times, your customer's value metric may be different now. Goes back to point number 1. Ask your customers what's important to them, what do they value most? Do you need to change the way that you base your pricing when it comes to that? And overall, I think the last thing I would say is be kind to one another, especially be kind to yourself. Have a look at things like what value is, how you can be adding value to people, whether it's paid or free. Look at your marketing plan. If you don't have a marketing plan, now's a perfect time to do it because a lot of us are inside and not doing a whole lot of much. Great time to be working on a marketing plan for the next 6 months at least, if not 12 months, to look at what business might look like for you. Have a think about your customers and what they might need from you. Better yet, ask them what they need from you. I'm just going to look at the comments in here. More people keep things going, the less abnormal this will all feel. Absolutely, George. We're not helping anyone if we give up. I'm going to love that comment. Thank you, Michelle. Well said. Yep, absolutely. That's it. You have such an ability to help people, and you have no idea how much it's valued by people. I think we all have a far greater impact and far greater effect on others than we realize, and that goes as much for you as it does for anyone else. This whole situation is likely to make us feel pretty crappy, make us feel a little bit anxious, and that's okay. We're human, we're going to feel crappy things sometimes. But the truth is that other people are still going to be looking to you to help them in the ways that they know only you can. I know, for example, that my VA, my awesome VA, Gemma, I cannot do this business without her. Like, I need her help because she can do things I can't do very well, and that's why I really like paying her. And that's the kind of person and business that you want to be for other people. You want to be customer-centric, value-driven, so that you are able to provide offerings with such high trust, such high perceived value that people love parting with their money to you because they know that they're going to just get excellent value from you, that they are, ending up more profitable than you are. Anytime I have a buying transaction with a client or a new member or that, I want the other person to feel like they profit more than I do out of the situation. And that's the feeling you want your customers to have, because that is going to drive your perceived value. It's going to mean they have a better experience with you. It's going to drive their loyalty. It's going to drive trust and all of those really positive things. If we're motivated to give our customers the very, very best in terms of value based on what they want, not what we think they want, but what they want, that's going to have a outcome there. Gem is a gem. Yes, she absolutely is. And now, this is not a pitch, but I am here to help. You can post a comment here, or you can email me or message me at any time if you have quick questions or that. I actually don't mind just giving people, a little bit of general advice to point them in the right direction of somewhere. And yes, I do have a price decrease on my private sessions now. That's one of the things I've done in terms of reviewing my pricing. So I actually had a plan to do some price increases on my private sessions because they were in really high demand. But now with the coronavirus kerfuffle, I've gone, right, I know now that my customers are going to be a bit more scared, a bit more unsure, a bit more uncertain. We're going to be more risk averse, and this is true for me as well. I'm going to be, a little bit more less okay with the idea of spending money, and it's likely to affect all of us because we're human, and we go off those sorts of cues and those sorts of signals from other people as well. And in times where there's uncertainty, that's the first thing we do, is we just stop kind of giving. And so the best way to work against that is to come back to their level, realize that your customers might be really fearful right now. They might be really aware of risk with you. They might be extra aware of, what if I lose? What if it doesn't work out? I'm going to be in a worse position. Keeping those things in mind is going to help you have even more sensitive and relevant copy and advertising and writing that you put in all of your posts and things. So let me know in a comment if you do have any issues or challenges or questions. More than happy to help. And please, 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 as much as possible, help each other, help yourself, be kind to yourself. It is going to be probably a rough couple of months at least, if not the next 6 months to a year. But you can do this. Your business can and will be okay. Think about your customers. Think about value. How can you improve that value there? How can you be what your customers really, really want you to be so that you can maintain and grow a really healthy business in this time? I hope that's been helpful. Let me know your biggest takeaway in the comment, and something that you're working on, or even if you're worried about something, pop it in there. We can all help you as well. I hope you have a fabulous afternoon. I'm beginning to lose my voice. Hope it's not coronavirus. It's probably not. Anyway, have a good afternoon. I'll see you soon. Bye.